What's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, for being subscribed. If you're not, go ahead and hit that button. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, hit that like button. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to go ahead and brighten up the place. So let's get into this podversation / reality chat. All right, guys, I listened to the audio that the original Straight No Chaser released on her YouTube channel several days ago. I'm just getting a chance to talk about it because, look, Hotel is just trash. I don't know a whole lot about narcissists, but some of the things that I have learned, it's just disgusting. They're almost not even really human. It's just almost like they're really animalistic. And to hear commentary or just comments or discussions about this trash bag and the way he does things when it comes to getting down with the ladies, it's just like, it's such a huge turnoff. Nothing about him to me is attractive. And I get it. There are some people who can separate their emotions and feelings about a person from the physicalities of the person. But for me, just thinking from a higher emotional standpoint, for me, and I'm speaking of as a woman who has been pretty focused on the things that really matter in life. And yes, sex is an important part of it, but that is not something that is a necessity to live. So I would never put myself in harm's way to get that. If you get my drift, there are a lot of people who, especially living their lives these days, they're just so promiscuous. They don't think about the next moment. No one like him strikes me as the type that practices what they call safe sex, because he is that focused on what he needs that I definitely don't see him doing that. And we know that based on what Arionne has said, that she has been pregnant multiple times and they definitely had at least one child together. And who knows if he has gotten anyone else out here pregnant and they just did not carry their pregnancies to term. You know what I'm saying? So to hear her have a discussion about this man that she says she hasn't slept with anyone else in over 7 years. And you know what? I will say, I don't claim her in my Virgo sisterhood, but I am a Virgo and I heard that she is one as well. I will definitely say that Virgos, we tend to be pretty loyal. She's just pretty stupid. So I don't claim her, but I would say that I would believe her when she says that she has not slept with anyone else in 7 years. That's what she said on this phone call when she was having this phone call with the original Straight No Chaser. So with that being said, to hear her speak about him, and then recently to hear Melody in the mid-preseason trailer to Love and Marriage Huntsville and how he wasn't able to satisfy her in all of the years that she's been with him, that doesn't surprise me either. Because someone like him, who does not practice safe sex, who is extremely selfish, only thinking about his needs and what he needs and what he wants, that he doesn't even care if he's satisfying the person that he is with. You know what I mean? So I'm not surprised by any of it. And then to see the season finale of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, and they shaded the crap out of Sheree when they made the reference about how she and Martell are pretty much still playing in people's faces, making it seem like their relationship is legitimate. Okay. I found that extremely funny. But yeah, it's like you all are not fooling anybody. But yet we know that he was still screwing around with Arionne while he had been messing with her. And he doesn't even really seem like he really liked Sheree. Like, to be honest with you, he didn't even really seem like he liked her. Because let's just think about it. When we've seen them together, have we seen them being extremely affectionate? We've seen her talking to the camera about how he has big D energy and how they try to play a sound effect like a woman was getting pleased in the bed, which we know that ain't happening. He ain't doing that for nobody. Hasn't done it. The only person that might be making any noises and sounds based on the clip from the mid-preseason trailer from Love and Marriage Huntsville is when Kimmy said sound like she heard somebody having sex when she was getting her makeup done. I'm sure she heard hotel. I'm quite sure the chick was just quiet and she was just there, but making noises in terms of pleasure, she might have been saying some things that he could care less about because as long as he was getting his, he didn't really care. But she probably was saying, when is this going to be over? But I just was like, this is why he will forever be called by me Arionne's baby wipe. Because to hear her say it's just so disgusting. I'm going to play this clip. This is obviously from the original Straight No Chaser and the audio that she released a few days ago. But I'm going to play this clip really quick.
So what they say online, I have definitely went back and fucked the ex before, straight the fuck up. So. Yeah, it was, I ain't doing nobody in 7 years yet. I haven't fucked nobody else. So I was just a little, and then when a nigga tell you, let me eat your ass, it's not even that I like my ass eat. It's just, it was freaky. You know what I'm saying? I'm honest with you, because I see that you ain't on no bullshit with me no more, so I'm just being real with you. Yeah. I'm glad you are, though, because when I saw initial calls, I say, God damn. I said, what they do? But see, it was late. I said, she got sleep, though. Yeah, yup. Like, we had went to a family game night, then we came home, and I was tired as hell. I fucking went to sleep.
All right, so you heard her talking about him eating so disgusting. That's why I call him Arionne's baby wipe, because that's pretty much what he's doing. His tongue is the baby wipe that is wiping that nasty ass. And so for Sheree to have her face all up in his face, just plain outright, utterly disgusting. If I were Melody, I would probably try to get a court order based on this audio to say that he cannot even kiss my kids. That's just so nasty and disgusting. Every time I see him, and this is why I call him that, is because I can't get that audio. I can't get her saying that. This is not the first time she said that, obviously. And I cannot get that out of my head. It is like a nightmare. I would not want him in my children's face with his face ever again. You can't kiss my kids on the cheek. Definitely not on the lips. I don't want your lips anywhere near my children's faces. I don't care if they're your kids. The fact that you could do some stuff like that, that's just disgusting. And I think that the court would grant it to her. I really do. I'm just saying, you have proof of this. You could get that audio subpoenaed from the original Straight No Chaser, take it to court and say, look, based on actions, I just don't feel comfortable with him kissing our children. It's just gross. And to think that this is stuff that he was doing while he was still married to Melody. And oh my God, I'm sorry. This is so utterly disgusting. But I'm going to play this clip really quick of what Melody had to say about him and her in all of the years that they were married.
Biggest regrets is that I had 4 kids by a dude that never made me.
All right, you heard that. And then, after that, they played a little clip of him still trying to drag this woman, talking about she had an affair on him with multiple people, which I really do not believe. That woman did not sleep around on him. And if he wants to talk about if they were separated and she had no intentions on coming back to the marriage and maybe they tried to give it another go, but in that meantime, she was with somebody else, I mean, that's her business. But we already know that he was carrying on a full-on relationship and probably was sleeping with other people in the meantime with that person who's still talking about the fact that he was her baby wipe and still continues to be, even while he was claiming to be in this alleged relationship with Sheree. It's her business. So don't try to put Melody on the same level as what you did, because it is not. And nobody believes it. Nobody does. But he still wants to talk about it. It's like, she let your ass go in a full-on divorce a few years ago, and you're still trying to drag this woman. It's just so old and tiring. It really is. And so to hear that information that she spilled last year, because this was a conversation that she had with the original Straight No Chaser last year that she is now releasing, and apparently there is more going to be coming out very, very soon, and we'll talk about that when it drops. But yeah, she is just as ridiculous as him. She is no victim. I do not feel sorry for her, and she only acts on emotions when things happen at the moment, but yet she still continues to put up with the BS. She refuses to, from what I could tell, take care of her own life, be responsible for her own actions, have her own career, take his ass to court for child support, and having an established child support and child visitation situation. Because one of the things that she continued to say in that phone call was that the reason she says that her child is different from their children is because he only comes to get the child when he does for a couple of days at a time, when she would prefer to be able to do things where it's like he gets the child for one full week or maybe a couple of weeks at a time, and then she gets the child for a few weeks or a week at a time, versus she has the kid most of the time and then he'll come and get the child for a couple of days or a weekend or something like that, because she said she feels like he's doing it this way to try to keep control of her. Well, you have a reason to try to make it different if you really want to, but no, you're comfortable in the BS and you're not making any changes to it so far. Like, what, are you going to wait until the child turns 15 years old to try to do something different? Because he's never going to respect you. He never has, and he never will. And people can only treat you the way that you allow them to treat you. And she allows him to treat her this way. I'm not saying that she deserves a good man, but I'm definitely saying that if she doesn't feel that she deserves to be treated this way, and she says that he doesn't protect her and he doesn't support her and he disrespects her, well, you allow it. If you would just drop it, say, you know what, this is your child, but this poo nanny ain't yours anymore, and stop allowing him to slide up in there, tongue and, you know, the other part whenever he gets ready to. And you just take it to court and have him paying child support and having an established child visitation schedule happening, then he's going to continue to treat you that way because you allow it. You allow it. And in her naivety, she probably listens to threats that he does, because he is that narcissist who will do things to try to make someone feel as if the things that they're saying are going to happen actually are going to happen. When in actuality, none of it is going to happen that way. They're just trying to scare you to not move forward and to not do things differently. And it's a freaking shame. It's just like, oh my God, is this going to be like the never-ending story that just continues to go on and on and on? I don't know. But to hear her talking about him using his tongue like a baby wipe on her ass is just so disgusting. And then to hear Melody talk about how she was with him for all of those years and he never made her bleep. It's like, that doesn't surprise me either, because all he was thinking about is busting off so that he can get what he wanted. As long as he gets his, he's fine. And all she got was 4 kids out of it and years of headaches and emotional depression and emotional abuse and all of these other things that she was subjected to being married to this man. I understand why people ride so hard for her, because this is just like, I'm quite sure she's not the only one that has gone through a terrible relationship and marriage situation with a narcissist, but this is like, for so many people, a real life learning lesson on being with a man like this, and to actually see it happening with our own eyes. It is so despicable that this is why he will never, ever be loved on a public platform by almost anyone, because he has put himself in a position to be one of the most hated people on reality television. Period. So guys, let me know your thoughts about all of it in the comment section. Thanks for being here, for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.